Hello everyone, welcome to National Focus. I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. It's always a pleasure to have you join us. Among the major developments, a summer hike to raise funds to help in the education of 12 needy children. U.S. dignitaries along with Prime Minister Skerrit meet calls Ghana achievers, and special education programs to be introduced at secondary schools come September. All these stories and more when National Focus returns. Stay with us. Welcome back. Time now for the details of the news. Parents of secondary school students with acute learning difficulties can look forward to this coming school year when the Ministry of Education will implement special education programs in secondary schools across the island. Honorable Peter Saint-Jean, Minister for Education, was speaking at an early screening and diagnosis workshop on Tuesday when he made that announcement. The minister said that special education program will help those students to become more independent by teaching them basic academic and social skills as well as practical skills.
In the new academic year, we will see the establishment of a structured special education program for children with severe learning difficulties within secondary schools. In that program, the students will focus on basic academic and social skills and will be expected to do at least one practical skill that will help them to be independent. I must note here that the staff at the Special Education Department have been working on the framework of individual education plans as provided for in the Education Act of 1997. As we seek to formalize the structure, individual plans will be developed and implemented for children identified as needing special education services.
Honorable Saint-Jean further explained that a special education policy is currently being outlined.
Therefore, we will be working on the adoption of the special education policy, which is already in the draft stage. Friends, as a ministry, we continue to improve on all services for children here in the Commonwealth of Dominica, making it our priority to educate, equip, and motivate our educational professionals so that we can experience improved educational outcomes for all of our children.
According to the Education Minister, special education programs have already been implemented at the Goodwill and Roseau primary schools. The Labour Party government has spent more on young people than any other government. This from Parliamentary Representative for the St. Joseph constituency, Honourable Kelva Daru. Honourable Daru made that remark while encouraging the island's youth to avail themselves of the many opportunities provided by the current administration.
I believe all young people need to be more focused on what it is that they need, more focused on setting their goals and working towards their goals. And I believe that this government has implemented and has invested more in young people than any other government. And that is a fact. And we have seen it. All our young people have to do is take advantage of the opportunities that we continue to make for them.
The Honourable Minister also told adults to encourage the youth to make use of the business and educational opportunities as they present themselves. In other news, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit joined the U.S. Ambassador to Dominica, the Director of Peace Corps Dominica, and a representative of the U.S. Embassy to form a fraction which visited the center where adolescents learn to love and serve CALLS. The group attended a ceremony which served to highlight the work of CALLS as well as Ghana Partners of the Americas, or Ghana for short. Ghana is a hands-on skills course administered by CALS and sponsored by USAID and partners of the Americas. Kelvin Benjamin, Assistant Director of CALS, began the ceremony with a brief overview of the Ghana CALS program, which officially commenced here in February this year.
It's a 5-phase program. We'll be ending our 3rd phase on the 27th of July. The first phase, which is phase 1, covers the employability skills that we had to do with the discipline and the team building and what have you. Second phase, we looked at the technical aspect of it, and our trainees were exposed to different technical skills, including agriculture. We had refrigeration, we had electricity, we had plumbing, we had hospitality arts, we had woodwork, wood carving, and arts and craft.
As part of the report, facilitators shared their opinions of the Ghana CALS program.
I find it very interesting for what CALS program actually have been doing for the children. So I try my best to teach them most of what I've learned, almost the majority of what I've learned in the CALS program, because I think they are the future of tomorrow. So that's why I train them into type of discipline, into what they have been doing, actually in the way they conduct themselves, in what they have been doing. And I brought them to different fields, like as far as Rosa, I brought them to actually see different centers and different type of engines, so I can read there, so they can make themselves better.
My experience with Aganar has been a good one in that the principles that Aganar presents are good ones for life, you know, for anyone to know and to learn and to follow. And so I was proud to be a part of Aganar.
From what I've seen, it has been influential in the trainees' lives, gives them a place to come and to work towards something better for themselves.
Students also shared what they learned through Aganar.
It is a good program for young people like us here. It helps us many different things, many different skills we learn. As far as I can say, it's good for young people to come and join it and see what it's all about, and it takes you a good place.
It brought me very far because I couldn't stand there and speak to people, and now I can, so I thank them for that. And I couldn't read that well, and now my reading skills is up there, and I hope I go higher.
After all the testimonials, the Prime Minister in his remarks stated that he believes the call center provides a national service.
Let me first of all commend CALS for the tremendous national service that they've been doing for the last 18 years or so. And I recall CALS starting in a very humble way with 1 or 2 people and 1 or 2 volunteers, and some of your trainees have become trainers under the CALS program, and that tells you of the success of CALS. And I understand from the statistics I have seen before that everybody who passes through CALS has been able to get employed, and so CALS has a phenomenal rate of success insofar as training, but also ensuring that the trainees do get employment once completed. So it tells us that if we adapt ourselves and if we make ourselves available to opportunities for training, then we can take advantage of the many possibilities and opportunities which exist in society. Too often we spend time on the side of the road and believe that somebody else has to come and get us out. It is a matter for us to make that decision that I want help and I will seek help, and when help is offered to us, that we take advantage of the help. And CALS is one such institution, one such organization that has provided an opportunity for all of you.
He called the program a small one with a great impact on society. Prime Minister Skerrit took the opportunity to thank the sponsors personally for funding the Ghana CALS program.
I want to especially recognize the assistance of the government of the United States of America through the Ghana program and the USAID facility for providing the financing for this program. I have always indicated to my friends in the U.S. Mission in Barbados, that sometimes it's not about the big project, but smaller projects sometimes have a greater impact on society, and we can see the results of it in first hand by hearing the experiences of the facilitators and mentors, and very importantly, hearing the expressions of commendation from the trainees themselves. And I'm sure in the next month or so, by the time they get to to the end of the year, then we will see a total transformation for the positive in the students.
His Excellency Harry Palmer, U.S. Ambassador to Dominica, told the students that by participating and reporting on the activities at calls, they make the training worthwhile. He mentioned that in Spanish, a Ghana means to win, so that means that the students have already achieved. The ambassador was enormously grateful for the opportunity to visit calls with the Honorable Prime Minister.
To the Honorable Prime Minister Roosevelt Garrett, and to whom I'd like to just say thank you so very much for coming out with us today to be here. Your presence just makes this a really, really special event for us, and we really appreciate you being here. To the esteemed members of the head table, to our Peace Corps volunteers and other volunteers who have been working so diligently with this program, to the facilitators, the mentors, and of course to our esteemed trainees. I just want to congratulate you all. Thank you very, very much for this opportunity for me to come and see today what it is that you're doing. For our volunteers, I always like to say that long, long ago when I was your age, I too was a Peace Corps volunteer. I was a volunteer in West Africa, and I worked with students very much like yourselves. And again, I just want to thank the government of Dominica for partnering with us in this very, very worthwhile endeavor. Our relationship with the government of Dominica has always been strong. We're rock solid. And Ms. Prime Minister, I am going to work as hard as I can to get more aid money.
The Prime Minister pleased the staff, students and volunteers greatly when he disclosed that provisions have been made in the 2012-2013 national budget for a grant which he described as above and beyond regular government assistance. Although the value of the grant was not revealed, Honorable Skerritt said that the funds will be gifted to the center before the end of August. Proceeds of a summer hike planned for Saturday, August 11, will go towards assisting 12 needy children to attend school in September. The hike has been organized by the Waitakubuli National Trail Management Unit in partnership with Digicel, Crazy Teas and Loubier Water. Education Officer for the Western District, Margaret Jules Royer, has welcomed the initiative. Royer, in addressing a press conference on Tuesday, said the Ministry of Education is grateful that citizens can come together to assist the less fortunate.
We know it's very difficult for parents, especially for those persons who have students leaving the primary and entering the secondary. You move from doing 5, 6, 7 subjects a day to sometimes as much as 13 subjects in first form. And so you'll understand the expense parents have to go through. And so as a ministry, we are very grateful that you could partner Digicel, Waitakubuli National Trail, Kubuli, and Crazy Teas to come together to contribute immensely to the people and especially the children of Dominica.
The 3-hour hike will take place along a section of segment 5 of the Waitakubuli National Trail. Hikers will begin the journey from the National Trail Research and Interpretive Facility located in Port Hasse. Operations Officer and Head of the Management Unit of the Waitakubuli National Trail, Rosalind Paul, views the upcoming hike as another opportunity to promote the Waitakubuli National Trail.
So this is now an opportunity for all of you hikers, Dominicans, visitors who are on island right now to partner for this worthy cause. As you've just been told, All proceeds from this event will go towards 12 school supplies for 12 needy students. So it's walking for exercise, for health, for continued promotion of the trail, but it's walking for a worthy cause this time. So we urge everyone to be part of this unique and special event.
To participate in the hike, a fee of $40 will be charged, which will go towards the worthy cause. Organizers of the hike anticipate that it will be a relatively easy one and has invited all who would like to experience this fun activity to do so.
Interested persons, you can register with the corporate, Digicel corporate office at the Bayfront or at the Waitikobuli National Trail Head Office at Pokase or at our desk at the Forestry Division on Valley Road. The main, the gathering points where people will gather on August 11th, this will be at the Bayfront at 6:30 so that we then move on to Pokase to start the hike at 7:30. The activity targets individuals and groups, hiking clubs, adventure clubs, social clubs, community organizations, faith-based organizations, agencies, private sector companies, government departments, the media houses, the general public.
Acting Country Manager for Digicel, Johnny Ingle, is delighted to be associated with the initiative. He would like to see as many individuals and groups coming together to participate and support the event.
I look forward to and I encourage actively the people, the agencies, the hiking clubs, the youth committees, the government bodies and the business community of Dominica to actively support this most worthy of causes. Our children are our future, and unless we support them, there will be no progress. I personally will be there on the 11th of August. I am undertaking this walk because I recognise the value and importance of lending a helping hand to those that need it most.
Hikers will receive a hiking package inclusive of t-shirts, water, transportation, and a guide on the trail. The government of Dominica in recent times has embarked on a number of major water projects across the island, amounting to over 40 million EC dollars. Minister responsible for Water Resource Management, Honorable Reginald Austrie, told a groundbreaking ceremony of the Ben's Water Supply Project earlier this week that over the last 2 years, a number of projects have been implemented, with some currently being installed.
If we take a snapshot at what we've done over the last 2 years as far as potable water is concerned, you will find this is phenomenal. Warner we did last year, this year we did Warner last year. We spent $3.4 million on Warner. We did Campbell, we spent $1.7 million on Campbell. We did Delis, we spent $2.8 million on Delis. We did Petit Savan, we spent $1.3 million on Petit Savan. We just spoke about the filtration system in Antrim. I thought it was $2 million, but it's $3.4 million we spent on that. In Marigot, we spent $1.3 million. Kenfield to St. Joseph, we replaced the pipes at a cost of $5 million. In Penville, we're nearing the completion of Penville for another $2.7 million. The West Coast Water, over $25 million will be spent on that project when it's completed, and it's ongoing right now. And that is getting water from Salisbury right back to Capuchin. Monbruce, we just completed a $4.5 million, 500,000 gallon storage tank to ensure the adequacy of water in the capital city of Roseau and in the surroundings. In Chaufford, we spent $1.1 million. In Grand Fond, we're going to be spending $2.3 million. When I did that maths, it worked out to $47.8 million.
Government says these projects are in keeping with government's efforts at providing potable water to all communities. The minister says these projects will also ensure that Dominica moves further towards meeting the target of the Millennium Development Goals. And finally, this news time, Parliamentary Representative for the Paybush constituency, Honorable Matthew Walter, has given residents of Upper Benz the assurance that government will seek to address a section of the Benz Road which has been in a state of disrepair. The parliamentary representative gave that commitment when he addressed the recent signing ceremony for the Benz water supply. Honorable Walter says government recently undertook some temporary works on the road, but will seek to do more detailed works soon. Honorable Walter further explained to residents the rationale behind such a plan.
Work could not have been done on this section of the road because it's a waste of money, my dear friends. It's a duplication of resources. To do repairs to a part of the road that we know has to be dug because the pipes have to be passed through trenches. So that's a waste of resources, waste of energy, waste of time. So what the council and myself did, we consolidated our efforts and our resources to do temporary patches to the road to prevent persons from breaking their legs and to allow vehicles to drive smoothly. So Dawasco has to dig the trenches, okay? And as soon as that is done, I am convinced and I can confirm in the presence of the Prime Minister that the monies will be made available for the repairs to be done on this section of the road.
And that's the English segment of the news. We now join Macpherson St. Louis for the Creole highlights.
Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est Macpherson St. Louis. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, car oui, monsieur Dominique qui do bout bien solide et puis gouvernement Labour pendant plusieurs challenges. Non, c'est tout. Allô tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non, moi c'est Macpherson St. Louis. Premièrement, Premier ministre Honorable Roosevelt Skerritt, car oui, monsieur Dominique qui do bout bien solide et puis gouvernement Labour pendant plusieurs challenges qu'a expérimenté par gouvernement. Selon Premier ministre Skerritt, gouvernement Dominique et puis d'autres en région là, en l'année qui passée, tenu à implémenter le programme debt restructuring. Ça c'était pour mettre mise en place, soulager ces économies là, puis le gouvernement a dépensé plus d'argent parce que ça il a ramassé. Premier ministre Skerritt dit action comme ça te mérité support population là et puis gouvernement bien plaisir pour support là et recevoir pendant temps ouais salam. Qu'a concerné management économie là, Premier ministre Skerritt dit gouvernement qu'a continuer faire ça en manière soutenable. Honorable Skerritt aussi fait parole que gouvernement tape succès en plusieurs aspects, spécialement santé et puis éducation. En notre nouvelle, le gouvernement Dominique déjà bâti plusieurs projets de l'eau tout mon pays là, à valer autant de millions de dollars. Parole cela sorti du ministère management de l'eau, Honorable Reginald Ostring. Honorable Ostring fait parole cela en cérémonie où la contracté signé pour commencer le projet de l'eau Benz Hans Demi en soldat lundi semaine cela. Honorable Ostring fait parole qui en CD l'année là qui passait. On le projet de l'eau implémenté et puis Adam déjà en opération. Gouvernement Dominique a fait parole qui c'est en Salam, c'est pour mener de l'eau potable en ces communautés là. Honorable Ostri aussi fait parole qui c'est projet Salam qui fait assurer que le gouvernement travaille Millennium Development Goals. Ministre Santé a mis bon standard où la moun ka travaille comme priorité plan ayo pour l'autre 3 l'année là qui ka venir. Département environ santé ka tient responsabilité implémentation programme bon standard pour travailler l'occasion où la yo ka travaille. Selon chef officier médical Dr. David Johnson, yo ka fait ça mandat ministre santé ni pour développer policy et puis guide avancer conditions travail en l'occasion où la moun ka travaille. Département santé conduit workshop où la yo mène plusieurs départements ensemble formuler plan salam. Dr. Johnson aussi fait parole que le département santé qui établit un comité qui est en charge bon standard en l'occasion moun ka travail. Et puis finalement, organisation Caribbean Information and Credit Ratings, ça c'est une organisation qui en charge des affaires l'argent, car oui, bah commitment qui concerne les affaires dette, ça c'est l'argent qui a prêté et banque à valeur $10 millions US. Organisation là qui fait parole qui est bien satisfait, manière banque là qui tient l'argent là qui a prêté. Il y a aussi qui fait parole que banque là fait bien bon depuis l'année 2004. Organisation là qui aussi expecte que banque là qui continue faire bon en autre l'année là, quand il a continué taper crédit et puis tient négociation neuf sinon globalisation. En même temps aussi, banque là qui continue et puis implémentation 5 l'année ailleurs, qui continue administration ailleurs. Il y a des bagages qui sont autant significants pour Banque Salam, ces affaires où là, ils mettent l'argent Industrial Estate Unit en aide banque qui baille 61,1 millions de dollars. Ici, ça c'est l'argent nous. Messieurs, mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelle créole pour à présent. Non moins, c'est Macpherson St. Louis. Au revoir.
When we come back, we'll bring you a few upcoming events and government notices. Please stay tuned.
You're watching GIS.
Time now for the government notices. All concerned are asked to note the following hurricane shelters and shelter managers for the communities of Tukari, Upper Penville and Lower Penville. Tukari, your hurricane shelter is the Tukari Chapel. The shelter manager is Harty Mason and the assistant shelter manager is Robin Daniel. Upper Penville, your 5 hurricane shelters are the Credit Union Building, shelter manager Fabian Gilbert, assistant manager Luke LeBlanc, the Council Building, where the shelter manager is Gabriel LeBlanc. The ground floor of the Penville Government School, the shelter manager there is Davis George, and the assistant is Robert LeBlanc. The House of Laurel and Lipson Lewis. Laurel is the shelter manager and the assistant is Lipson Lewis. And the Penville Seventh-day Adventist Church, and the shelter manager there is Julian Royer. Lower Penville, the Penville Roman Catholic Church, is your hurricane shelter. Shelter manager Michael DeBon, assistant manager John Christopher. The Dominica State College announces the start of a City and Guilds Electrical Installation Diploma level course come September. The course will be held on Tuesday and Thursday evenings from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. at the Bath Estate campus. Interested learners must register no later than July 31, 2012. For more information, please call 440-3533 or 275-3659 or email continuing.education@dsc.edu.dm. You may also visit the Department of Continuing Education located at Bath Estate. And the Ministry of Education wishes to inform the general public of its collection and distribution of textbooks for the 2012-2013 school year. The students attending the 5th form from the Pierre Charles Secondary School and the Northeast Comprehensive School, you are asked to collect books on Friday, July 13 from the JSP building located in Bath Estate from 8:30 in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. Please be guided accordingly. And that's National Focus. As usual, we invite your suggestions and your comments. Please feel free to drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm. You can visit our website at news.gov.dm. You can also visit the GIS Dominica page on YouTube and Facebook. On behalf of the entire news production team, I'm your presenter, Tarnia Green. Thank you so much for watching. Do remember to join us again tomorrow.